Hey attackers, Insane Mike here. Time for one of my video updates. Over the weekend, Brandy and we went garage sale hopping and like Goodwills and whatnot. So I thought I'd show off my haul from this weekend of the horror themed stuff that I got. One of the nice things about like this time of year, especially with the Goodwills, is that you start seeing a lot more Halloween themed, horror themed merchandise in there, in those stores. So this is some of my takeaways from the weekend, some of the stuff I found. Now I'm gonna start off. I didn't get a whole lot, but here's some of the stuff I did get. I'm gonna start off with some VHSs that I picked up. I got from the classic collection of the Universal Monster VHS tapes, the Phantom of the Opera. This is the Claude Rains version, Phantom of the Opera, which I've never seen before, so I can't wait to check that one out. From there, I had this tape long time ago, back when I was a kid. Hallmark stores would also, way back in the day, would get a ton of really cool Halloween themed stuff. And one year, they were selling this promo tape, pretty cheap, that was made for the Hallmark stores. It's called Creepy Classics. It's got Vincent Price in it, so right away sold, right? And it's kind of a horror host thing. He's like talking about horror movies and waxing poetic about the world of horror and stuff while sitting in a theater seat talking to the camera, and then showing tons of clips of classic horror films. Some of them like public domain stuff that you see over and over again, like Day of the Triffids, Night of the Living Dead, Carnival of Souls, that kind of stuff. But we'd also have some other stuff in there too, like the original Blob. Gorgo was one that he showed stuff from. Let's see on the back here. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I Was a Teenage Werewolf. So it's only half an hour long. So again, it wasn't a very expensive tape when it came out. And I used to have it, but don't have it anymore. Don't know whatever happened to it. So when I saw it, I had to pick it up. And again, it says 50 cents there, but actually I only got it for like a quarter. So really cool find there. And it originally came with like some trivia card. I don't remember the trivia card. I definitely mine didn't stick around, but I don't have it. It didn't come in this one either, and that's okay. That's cool. It's just nice to have that tape back, and haven't seen it in years, so can't wait to check it out. Also, this one is a treat for me. Speaking of public domain stuff, this particular film must have hit the public domain. I don't know if it still is in public domain. I honestly don't always fully understand how that works, but it had to have been in public domain at this time because this is one of those cheapy labels that would like just poop out a public domain title on a VHS tape with like no restoration or anything. Just dump whatever footage they had onto a VHS tape. And this is one of the bottom of the barrel labels called Star Classics. Like the cover itself is so cheap and generic that all it has is like their logo and the text on there and their cover art, which was the same on all of their boxes, with a picture from the film kind of in the center. And this particular one is the Ed Wood classic Bride of the Monster. So as you can see, like you got these little silhouette of people looking up at the picture. You got their logo across the top, which is bigger than the title of the movie, and all of their tapes were like this. And this label was so cheap. And also on the back, no pictures, just a small description. Again, their logo on the back, and all of them had this like, "What's it all about?" Right above the description. But this label was so cheap that they saved money on cardboard producing the box because the top of the tape also has no lid or has no top to it. Like most VHS tapes do. So as you can see, yeah. So I guess you could turn around and make it a selling tool. It's like, now you can, oh man, I peeled off the sticker. Now you can like take your tape out of the case from either the top or the bottom for your convenience. I don't know, I should have been in marketing, right? Anyway, cheap ass label. I hated these labels back in the day because the quality was always really poor, and more importantly, the box art was just garbage, and it just looked cheap and felt cheap and made you feel cheap owning it. But kind of now I have a little nostalgia. Kind of funny to kind of collect some of these again. But anyway, and it's Bride of the Monster. So hey, what can I say? So that's it for the VHS tapes. Got some other stuff as well. Got this cool Halloween decoration. There's like these two skulls here. I think it must light up or something because there's a thing for batteries and a switch there. I don't know, maybe it makes sounds too. Who knows? But haven't put batteries in it to try it out. But regardless if it works or not, I still thought it was pretty cool. This will look cool on a shelf or a nice centerpiece for Thanksgiving. What else do I have? So I picked up a plushie. I think these were made for like crane machines. And so I think this is kind of a fairly recent. I can't see the copyright on it. It's got a tag on it, and I haven't peeled it off yet. I peeled off the sticker to see when these came out. But I already have. This is also a Universal Monsters thing. I already have like the Creature from the Black Lagoon of this, but these are plushies. So I got the Creature from the Black Lagoon plushie and saw this one again, really cheap at like Goodwill or whatever. And so I figure might as well pick it up. Maybe someday I'll have the whole set. But it is official Universal Monsters. But I got the Frankenstein's monster plushie, but it's got like the card on there. It says Universal Monsters, so it's it's not some cheap knockoff. This is actually Universal Monsters. And lastly, speaking of Universal Monsters, this whole weekend for me was finding stuff, Universal Monster stuff. Again, this is an actual Universal Monsters piece too. You always, anytime you find like, vampire stuff, Frankenstein's monster stuff, whatever, Wolfman, you look for the Universal Monsters label to see if it's like legit merchandising, right? I don't know when this one came out, but it is actual from Universal Monsters because you can kind of see it. The logo has been mostly peeled off, but you can totally tell that that's that Universal Monsters logo, and it's a giant ass Dracula mug. And this thing is huge. I mean, it's almost as big as my own head. Look at that. Look at that. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's as hollow as my own head. That's so weird. Anyway, it looks like Bella a little bit. Maybe if you put a cape over his face and put him in Plan 9 from Outer Space, you might trick people into thinking that he is Bela Lugosi and not Ed Wood's chiropractor. But that was always the problem I had with some of the Universal merchandising. And I think maybe it had to do with some kind of like licensing rights to Lugosi's look through the Lugosi estate or whatever, not getting the complete rights. But anytime you find a Wolfman, it would look like the Lon Chaney Wolfman, or Frankenstein's monster, it would look like the Karloff Frankenstein's monster. The Invisible Man, that was always easy to replicate, but like the Dracula stuff never always quite looked like Bella, and this one's kind of close, but that always bothered me. But again, it probably has to do with like licensing the look of Bella through his family's estate, what have you. Anyway, that is the stuff I got this weekend from Goodwill, garage sales, what have you. Not a bad weekend. I mean, we got a lot of other stuff too, but for a video update, I figured I'd just share my horror themed stuff. But thanks again for watching, and thanks for being an attacker, and we will talk to you on the next full episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast. Bye, guys.